Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the Tower of London. Little guard hut thing. I'll take you first to see the bits that we weren't able to see last time, which is the Royal Mint. Obviously, I'll have to point you down a bit when walking about because there's always people, a lot of people around. Nice weather today, so. And the restrictions have all been lifted now, so good to go. The Byward Tower. You could twirl around. They're doing a thing with lighting up the moat for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Murder holes to pour down boiling sand and tar and stuff onto people. And here you have the portcullis in there. Architecture's pretty amazing, as you probably all agree. Edgebeater. Filming with two phones again. So this won't be one great big massively long live, but I'll do it in increments kind of thing. Wow, look at that. Oh shit, I thought it was a real person. I think it was a real person. Oh, that's on a screen. Oh, isn't that clever? Look, and he leaves when I leave. Oh, that's mad.
When he got back from the trip, I saw things on that trip.
Hello, sir. You alright?
Yes.
The Royal Mint, which for me, as I collect coins, is one of my favourite areas, and we wasn't able to visit last time. Hi Tamara, hope you're well. And Edward the First Groat of 1279. I've got an Edward the First Groat that's not in as good condition as this one. Mine's been clipped around the edges. People used to clip the edges off of coins, bits of them. Every coin they'd get, they'd clip a little piece off and keep the silver and then gather it up. But if you got caught, you'd be in a hell of a lot of trouble. But that's why they went from precious metal in coins to what we got today now. Basically, one of the big reasons was to stop coin clipping. Tower Mint, coins and the kings. We'll do the Royal Mint, then I'll start another live at somewhere else and such like. These are the tools obviously that you would have used. And all of those kinds there I've got at home, I've got replicas as well. I've got real ones. The real ones, like, you find unless you pay a great fortune for them. Anyway, let me, so yeah, if you pay for a great fortune for them, they're not clipped. But with a lot of collections, you'll find clipped coins. The Jewish community. Jews in England in 1278 were imprisoned on charges of coin clipping. Over 600 are held in the Tower. This is part of the thing, Jewish persecutions in England in 1277 to 1279. We had a Holocaust, which is known as the expulsion of the Jews. Any of these things that you're interested in, just stop, pause and read. Oh, hi Bill, hope you're well. Hi Maureen, I'm glad I taught you something. I know quite a bit about coins because I've been collecting them for years. I've got a decent coin collection indoors. Now I've done this bit, I'll show you some of mine on an indoor live again, like those books of illuminations. Gold coins, that is something I would not be able to afford one of them because that's an Edward the and Elizabeth I sovereign, which is like a gold sovereign. Absolute fortune. I've got replicas. All interactive stuff there, which the kids really like. And the old ingots, look. Hi Brian, hope you're well. Hope everyone's okay. If I don't reply to all the comments at once, please don't think I'm being rude. It's just obviously I'm filming with two phones and having to be careful where I go and what I film and what I do and don't film. How they would have melted down the gold and the silver.
Yes, and it means peace is sought by all.
The early coin presses, how they would have made coins. First coins to be made by a steam engine. The first one was called a cartwheel penny. I've got one of those, and they were so ridiculously big. I will show you that at home when I will do a live on that. So ridiculously big that everyone hated them. They were massive, absolutely massive, and so heavy that they wore through people's pockets and money purses quickly. They didn't last long, and then they adapted the machinery pretty quickly to make better coins. Also, another thing about coins, on Maundy Thursday, the poor, some certain amounts of poor would be selected to go before the king or a royal member or someone important, and they'd be given Maundy coins, known as Maundy money. Silver, a 1p, 2p, a 3p and a 4p, and I've got some of those. Charles II, reign, Victorian ones and whatnot. So yeah, one day if anyone's interested in the coin collections, let me know and I'll show you. No problems, Belle. I'm glad you enjoy them. Yeah, it's nice to meet a fellow or fellowess coin collector. Cromwell.
You beheaded my father. If his hair was anything like yours, I was doing him a favour. I know you insisted on being shown.
Cromwell and Charles II. When Charles II came back, Cromwell was dead by that point, but they got their revenge. They dug him up, put his body on trial, and hung it. And his head was cut off and put up on a spike on Westminster Hall. Yeah, Maundy coins. You'd be given Maundy coins on a Maundy Thursday. The royal family used to then wash the feet of the poor as well as part of the Maundy thing, but the feet had already been well scrubbed by the royal almoners and servants beforehand, before the royals got their hands on them. Don't be thinking they was humbling themselves going near filthy dirty feet. They didn't. Hope everyone's well this afternoon. When they wore completely smooth like these, they were sent back. You'd get your money's worth in new coins, maybe a little bit less. Here's Monday coins. 4p, 3p, look. The 4p, 2p, 1p, 3p, 4p. That's Monday money. Or Monday coins they were used as. You didn't get a 6p with a Monday set, just a 1 to a 4p. Weighing everything up. That's interesting, isn't it? Was that old nun that used to go around doing tours used to say? I'd like a gold guinea, but I can't afford one. They're too expensive. I've got replicas. The replicas are good though. Like, you don't buy, if you've got a serious coin collection, you don't go to like a little gift shop and buy them. You buy specialist made replicas, which are gold plated, and they look real, but obviously they are replicas. Right, that's the Royal Mint done. Beecham Tower. Beecham Tower is a very, very interesting place. That's where all the graffiti and the carvings are, well, a lot of them. There are a lot of carvings and graffiti in a lot of the places over here, but the most spectacular ones are in the Beecham Tower. Well, I wasn't able to show you the Royal Mint last time, or the Salt Tower, so we'll go there now. Salt Tower. Arrow slits, look. And a lot of these, like these bits and bobs and whatnot, the yeoman warders live in some of these, quite a lot of these places. A mounting block for a horse. Up in this room there is a medieval mural. Public don't get to go up there. That mural would have been seen by everyone that worked in the Royal Mint. And it basically was a scene showing them what would happen to them in hell if they stole from the Royal Mint. So I put it this way, they didn't want you to steal from the Royal Mint. Bell Tower. For centuries, the Bell Tower held prisoners Bishop John Fisher, Sir Thomas More, were probably held by King Henry VIII there. You can't get into the Bell Tower because it is the prison bit there. You go through the governor's house, which you'll never get into as a member of the public. We'll be seeing Traitors Gate now. Traitors Gate. Excuse my Cockney accent. This is the medieval palace. I did this on my last visit, but we will try and get that done today as well. But it's the architecture is a lot of the thing about this place. It's just amazing. And such an old history as well. Guarding the tower, the ceremony of the keys. Yeoman warders have guarded the tower since the 1500s. Anyone that's interested in this place, type in on Google, YouTube as well. I think there's videos of it on YouTube. Ceremony of the Keys, which is when they basically close up and make sure everything's officially done for the night. I'll be showing you a bit of it now. Yes. And I don't know exactly why they're called beefeaters, and even they don't know exactly why they're called beefeaters. The belief is that some of their wages may have been paid in beef from the king's table, so it's a possibility. Right. This would have been part of a prison. What you're going to see now is Traitors Gate. St Thomas's Tower is the medieval palace Oh, this will make me laugh now. Every time I've been here, I've said, this is an illuminated manuscript, what you're looking at now. I said, oh, I make these. One day I'll show you them. And I said it so many times, I got on my own nerves. So I did a live on those, if you look back on the page. But yeah, this is Traitors Gate. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Belle. Hi, Brian. I'm filming on my iPhone and my smartphone. Smartphone will be pre-recorded for YouTube. iPhone is obviously the live. I can't go live on YouTube until I get a certain amount of subscribers.
Traitors Gate. Oh, heard of that? Yeah.
Yeah, and coming through this, you would have literally been bricking it, absolutely bricking it. Thinking, oh my God, no. When they took you out for your trial in a boat through Traitors Gate, the man with the axe would stand with the axe pointed away from you. Once you'd been tried, if you were found guilty, when you came back, the axe would be pointing towards you. And that's in the age before mass media and all that. That would let everyone know on the riverbanks that you'd been found guilty. Then the news would start spreading the news around the taverns and the towns, and I'm like, oh shit. That one's going to cop it. But yeah, this was open to the Thames in its original day. Tower of London had a menagerie, a zoo, and they used to let a polar bear out on a chain to catch eels in the Thames. We'll see more of that. Traitors Gate. Ah, excellent. Not excellent for her, but here we have Jane Grey, Lady Jane Grey, the 9 Days Queen. If you're interested in history, at some point today I'll be doing a walking in the footsteps of live about Jane Grey, and it's an audio recording from an audio book I've got called Innocent Traitor, and it's about 15 minutes long, and we'll be following the last journey of Jane Grey from the governor's house to the block. Yeah, it's a bit grim, but that's history for you. Traitors Gate. Lady Jane Grey. Queen Elizabeth I, she was brought to the Tower as a prisoner in the reign of her sister Queen Mary, and she refused to go through Traitors Gate, so they took her for the other entrance, and even then she kind of refused to go in, and she sat down on the floor and just broke down basically, which I think you probably would, because her sister Mary was a Catholic. She just executed Jane Grey, a 16-year-old girl. Now everyone's going to think, shit, if she's done that, I ain't going to stand much of a chance. So yeah, you can understand Queen Elizabeth I's fear. Wakefield Tower, 1220 to 1238. Pushing the river back. This is about that. Ah, there. Polar bear, but they make them from wire mesh. It's really clever, actually. Royal beasts. They had an elephant here as well, and they used to feed it brandy. It lived quite a short, happy but drunken life. In the end, the here we are. Look, the polar bear was allowed to swim in the river on a strong rope. Other creatures had less freedom. For the centuries, caged lions, other big cats impressed visitors to the tower. Sad, really, because you can imagine the conditions they were kept in. But yeah, that's made from wire meshing. That's your polar bear. Right, I'm going to go and see if the salt tower is up now. That's the way out. Anyone that watched my page the other day, I was on the opposite side of those gates, having a smoke and a coffee. Today, if I'm honest with you, I don't normally go into my personal life in details, but it's been 6 months since my friend passed away today. Now, which I won't go into too much, one of the things I promised basically to be kept is that we wouldn't remember him in a horrible or sad way, so I could have stayed indoors and been sad, which he would have been thoroughly pissed off about. Tower of London was one of the places he always wanted to visit, Buckingham Palace being the other. And yeah, so I thought I'd come here today. I'd like to dedicate all what I'm doing today to the memory of my friend Stephen. Also to the memory of my cousin Jackie, who passed away recently. Her funeral was yesterday. My great aunt Pat we lost recently too. I mean, yeah, it's been Been a tough couple of years for everyone. Cannons shows you a history of them as they got bigger and bigger and whatnot. And this is a Ballista. I think that's the Roman name for it. I don't know what medievals would have called it, but that fired out great big crossbow bolts. I just point you down at the floor a minute, guys and girls, because there's a lot of kids about. I like a reenactor, look. Dressed up in Tudor clothing. Or Stuart clothing, that is. They've got the reenactors back. The Salt Tower isn't open, I'm afraid. It's cordoned off. But, here we are. Cradle Tower, and this is open. We'll go in here instead. This wasn't open last time, either, the Cradle Tower. And then I'll end this one. I want to do my walking in the footsteps of one late afternoon, early evening. White Tower, when I came before, we hardly got to see any of that, so that'll be my next port of call from this one. You can't obviously record or film in the jewel house, it just would never be allowed, and I wouldn't even attempt it because you would get into such trouble, get banned for life, and I've just bought an annual pass for this place, so no thank you. Father John Gerard was held prisoner in here. Father John Gerard in the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. He was one of the few people to manage to escape. They tortured him so badly they hung him up in chains by his hands, by his wrists, and he was never the same again after that. He couldn't write very well. His hands and mobility and was destroyed. But desperation managed to let him get down a rope and escape. He was a Catholic priest at the time when Catholicism was highly illegal in England. Do you still feel the energy? Sorry. Oh, thank you, Bill. That's very kind of you. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the comments. Yeah, it's so many people have lost a lot of people. He was a good friend as well, my mate. So, when he was young and 32 years old, it was grim. Yeah. You do still feel the energy here. I must admit. One of the places I did want to go was the Salt Tower, because no matter how bright it is or how warm it is, it's always cold in there, and it's always got a really nasty feeling. And when I went in there before, recording, got some weird whispers and voices. This is Father John Gerard's cell laid out.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
This one's got a funny energy to it. Yeah.
Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
Sorry about that, lost connection. You can imagine, like, with these stone buildings, the walls are so thick. There would have been another portcullis here, dropped down in emergencies. Yeah, this is set out as Father John Gerard's cell, and John Gerard, Catholic priest. Here we are. The Cradle Tower was built between 1348 to 55. And look, if you look down here, you can see the foundations. This would have been a drawbridge, obviously, in its day, going out into wherever it went to. Oh God, this room is, I'll tell you what, every time I come here, This room has got a really grim feeling to it.
Nominate Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Nominate Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Nominate Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Nominate Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
People have put graffiti on these walls, like modern graffiti, like it's gouged their names into it. That's not good, you know. Medieval graffiti, yeah, we'll let people off with that. We've lost our reception again. Lost our reception again, sorry. It's because the walls are so thick. I was just saying about modern people have put graffiti in here. Not good. Right. Oh. Go that way, sorry. Go out this way. Oh, crap. Let's say. The upper part of the Cradle Tower is obviously not open. Can't remember if that has been opened before or whatnot, so I've been here about 8 times, so do you forgive me? Ah, I'm getting mixed up with my layout. The Salt Tower is over here. I forgot, alright. And I don't know if it's open or not, but we shall see. If it's open, unfortunately you can't pick up on the energy on a phone, but I assure you the energy in this place, it ain't real fine and pretty. And we're going in. I hope the reception holds. If it doesn't, there'll be a pre-record of this exact same thing on YouTube. Oh, it's freezing in here. It's really cold. Oh, it's nice and cold. This tower, a part of Henry III's late 1230s curtain wall. Did you know, in 1597, John Gerard, a Catholic priest, was imprisoned in the upper rooms of this tower. Reception's just gone on my live. Good job on doing. We're back. I'm just doing good job on doing pre-record as well. As I was saying about Father John Gerard was held prisoner in the upper rooms of here. Was just reading it out. I won't get too far into the room because it keeps making the reception go. But it's very echoey in here, and the feeling. They've put brighter lighting. I must admit, it's brighter than I've been before, but it's just the feeling in here. It's horrible. Dreadful feeling in here. It's cold, whatever time of the year. I've been in here in a baking hot summer as well, and it's just cold. Bit of graffiti. Old. Let's check all the windowsills and see. It smells damp in here as well. I think one of the Dudleys was held prisoner in here for a while as well. And then they were moved to Beecham Tower. That's where all the best of the graffiti is. Beecham Tower. Yeah, that was my mistake, thinking the Salt Tower was closed and cordoned off. It wasn't. Went the opposite way because there's toilets there. Show you a couple of cannons. It's nice and bright now, so I'll show you this other bit. I've only been live for 30 minutes anyway, so recording, so I got here as early as I could today, so I'll be able to show you quite a lot. The elephant. That's it. And that is also made from wire mesh. Yeah, it's made from wire meshing, that. It's really clever. By order of the King Henry III, 26th of February 1255, make a building without delay at the tower for the King's elephant, 40 feet long and 20 feet wide. And this is that building. They used to give it brandy to drink because they thought it might get cold, because it came from a hot foreign climate, so they thought we'll give it brandy. And it led a happy, short, drunken life. The worst one, blunderous with animals and how they didn't understand them, was they was given an ostrich, and then they was told that it ate metal, iron, so they fed it iron nails, and as you can imagine, that did not last long at all. This is the White Tower. That'll be a separate live on that. Go and see the ravens now. I think it's down here. Yeah. Gift shop. Someone wants to buy a crown. Queen's Diamond Jubilee, isn't it? Or a goblet and other nefarious bits and bobs that you will probably not need after a while. Been there, done that. Gift shops. All these walkways up there is what we'll be doing probably next. Medieval Palace is worth seeing. Not next, I'll do the White Tower next. And the Medieval Palace. That'll be nice for evening views actually. It's pointing you down a minute because there are people around. Yeah, and they're going to light the moat up for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. Now you're going to go and see where the ravens live in a minute. As that man's saying, one of the ravens here has got his own Twitter and Instagram. Oh. Interesting. This is where your ravens live at night. Well, this is where they go to sleep at night time. They're allowed to wander around at day. The head raven used to be Merlina, but I think she did go missing. I think she died, or is believed dead, not come back. But yeah, the head raven basically has a sleeping area all of its own, which is over by the Beecham Tower. Feeding time is a bit grim with these because it's generally entails raw meat of some kind or other. That's William the Conqueror's White Tower. This is the oldest part of the Tower of London that we're looking at here. This is the 1080s. When William the Conqueror was crowned at Westminster Abbey, the British people gave out the usual cheer, and the Normans, they were out of order, they were bastards, they were just looking for an excuse. They thought that the people were rebelling, and they literally set fire to everything, started killing everyone. William fled, and interestingly enough, he was put up by the Abbess of Barking. She was trying to look after herself and her own house, because a lot of the nunneries, what they did when the Normans come over, they moved out like the prioress, who was a native woman, and brought in a Norman woman. So some of these prioresses and whatnot, or abbesses, didn't want to go, so they thought, well, obviously thought, well, he's here to stay, he's not going. So yeah, he stayed at Barking Abbey, which is where I was the other day, St Margaret's Church and Barking Abbey. Myth and legend. The origins of why the ravens are kept in the tower. I do know that one anyway, without having to read it to you. Basically, in the 1600s, in the reign of King Charles II, which is what is known as the Age of Enlightenment, science, everything was sparking off, they had telescopes up on the roof there. Samuel Pepys used to come here and use them as well. All the famous ones and whatnot. Hawke and whatnot and that. Yeah, they had telescopes up there, and the ravens were really interfering with it and causing problems. Here we are the ravens there, and these scientists wanted them got rid of, and they said to the king, "Oh, sire, can we get rid of these ravens?" And some superstitious person said to King Charles II, who is also very superstitious, "Sire, if the ravens go, yourself and the kingdom shall crumble into dust." And he was a very superstitious man, Charles II, so he was like, "Shit, no." So there was a decree that they would keep a certain amount of ravens at the tower. I think it's over 6 or 8, something like that, and that they must always stay here, because Charles II was extremely superstitious. Right, and the White Tower, I'm going to end this one now, and then the White Tower is what we'll do in a minute. Hope everyone's enjoyed this so far, because last time I came, it was more or less near closing time, and I had to dash through the White Tower. The shop was closed, and in the shop you get to see into the dungeon, which is another grim place, but it's interesting for its history, obviously. I've not done torturing the tower before, and I wasn't going to do it, because I think, show these people respect and that, but it is history, and I suppose if it's done respectfully, we'll cover that as well. It is history, and you can't bang it under the carpet, but I don't want to feel like I'm turning it into Disney World or whatnot, or something like that. Right, take care everyone, see you all soon.